want you to show me how to get to know someone like you, someone like you. I want you to know me, 'cause I know then you'll see we could be true, we can be true. I want you to see what I see in us, something so real, something so real. I want you to see that this is a love that we both feel, that we both feel. And how will we ever know if the love will ever grow without trying, without trying? And how will we...
Welcome back to the Paul Dolden Details channel. Yep, I'm Paul. Yeah, we're not actually in a car this week. We're not driving around Basildon terrorising the neighbourhood. Yeah, we're back out the front, back on the Essex coast. This is my filthy Skoda Fabia, which you've seen on the channel numerous times. Haven't actually done anything on this properly regarding LSP, last day's protection, for roughly three and a half months. So we're talking around about beginning of October, roughly speaking. And that was the Monster Shine Car Care sealant, the high gloss sealant which it had on it, which is just about, it's still hanging on, it's still beading, but just about. This has been through salt, grime and everything, and you know, it's just covered in the usual A-road muck as I thunder up and down the A12 every day. If you're wondering why I got a clean number plate, more will be revealed later on. I will tell you right at the end of the video. I've had some fun and games with this today. My God. Right, on with today's video. Right, before you all go, obviously the title of the video is going to be a review. It's on TFR and it's on an LSP, which is the Detailer's Passion. Now let's get into the first product now. I didn't get sent this at all by manufacturers at all. I didn't get sent to me by you know, a detailing stockist. It was sent to me by Sean. Once again, he's getting a lot of shout outs, Sean. Sean down here. This is Powermaxed TFR. Obviously he's been using this, as you can see. Been mucking about with this. I mucked about with this a little while ago, and pretty impressive stuff. Now, if you go right back in the beginning of my videos, shot on a mobile phone, I talk about traffic film removers, and I talk about snow foams and different types of pre-washes. The main concern with these is stripping your last day's protection. This sort of scares everybody away. In particular, I was a little bit worried myself, and I've been speaking to Sean about this, you know, dilution rates and everything else, because there's nothing worse than getting the wax on the car. Just say you spend 50 quid on a pot of wax or more or less. You do the sealant or the wax on your car, and then you pre-wash it like 2 weeks later to get all this muck off, and all of a sudden you notice with a pressure washer during the wash process that, hang on, it's not beading up. There's, you know, there's no, the water behaviours. It's flat. It's gone. There's nothing worse than that, and that's one thing we're skeptical. You know, we're sort of skeptical about in using TFRs. Also, they've got a bad reputation as well, because a lot of people, you're probably going to shoot me down in the comments with this, but the supermarket washes, that sort of thing, they're regarded as, oh, perhaps they're just, you know, for use with like trucks and, you know, the commercial industry, or garage forecourts, because they're quick. Not really the case with Powermaxed. Powermaxed, they didn't just, you know, go, right, yeah, it's fine, we're just going to stick a sticker on the side and say, yeah, you can use it, it's easy. I've read all the stuff about this. I've been talking to Sean about it now. The main thing is, he says, obviously on the website, you know, it gives you dilution rates. Now he's been using it at sort of 10 and 12 to 1. It does say 9 to 1 as being the absolute minimum. I've mixed up some, and I've got this as 10 to 1. So we've got our litre double action trigger spray as usual. So 10 to 1, you're talking about, you know, it's a tiny little amount in the bottom there like that. The rest of it's just cold water mixed up in the trigger spray. We're going to go round the horrendous bits, which is the tailgate, and once again lower parts of the car, but we are actually going to use this on the tyres and the wheels. I'm not actually going to use a wheel cleaner this week. I have got wheel wax on the car, but this has been through hell and all, so the chances are they're going to have to be topped up anyway. So this is going to be the first product we're going to test we'll do a live test. You know, I'll show you what it can do. We'll talk about the product, and then I'll get on with the main wash, and then we'll come on to the LSP, you know, the wax, which brings me on to the wax. Right, this is the new banana cream wax from Detailer's Passions. Obviously I'm going to do the sniff test, even my nose is a little bit blocked. That's a real strong sweet smell. Do you remember the sweets you used to get, you know, I'm showing my age now, on the corner shop? You walk in, you smell that banana smell. That's what it smells of. Oddly enough, because it's called bananas. Banana cream wax. It's been speaking to Jamie that sent this down. Good on you, Jamie. And he says he'll get roughly 2 to 3 months duration, obviously depending on the weather. At the moment it's a bit of a dull day, but we are getting better weather as we go along. We're in February obviously, and it's getting a little bit warmer. We might even get into the teens next week. Cross will be wearing shorts soon in your videos. Yes, shorts and flip-flops. So all depends on weather and how you drive, where you live. It'll be very interesting to use this, you know, once again with waxes, all a bit of a personal preference. In particular the liquid waxes, they do go on very, very quick, and you have to be, you can be a little bit sort of overzealous, shall we say, in the application technique. It doesn't really matter how much you load up that applicator pad, because you can just spread this stuff, you can just spread it everywhere, you know. Because I've used liquid waxes before, and I actually really like them because they really go on quick. So be interesting to see this one later on. So let's crack on with this. You guys make a cup of tea. I'm going to get started. Yeah, if you're wondering, that's Perry the Polo. Stayed the night. Right, let's crack on. So got our double action trigger spray. We've mixed this up to 10 to 1. I'm told that's fine. It won't strip LSP. That's in the description. It's on their website. I will put a link at the bottom of the video, as always. And let's get this party started, shall we say. Let's get some pre-wash on. So we've sprayed the lower parts of the car. Don't be tempted to go in with a brush, because look at it, it's absolutely caked. This chemical has got to do its work. This isn't like snow foam where you agitate it. You know, this is actually going to probably use more chemical than obviously foam in action. Not a lot of foam at all, as you can see. We've walked around and show you the wheels. I'm just going to allow this to dwell for around 5 minutes. One thing I will mention, on a warm day, as I've probably said in previous videos, don't allow products to dry, because they will streak. This hasn't had anything done, as I said, since sort of October, as you've probably seen by the videos. Obviously this is the worst bit. You can sort of see it starting to do its work here. So we're going to move the car, then power wash this off. So the car's had around about 5 minutes of dwell time. Just show you down here. Obviously the rear end's the worst, and then I'll just show you another bit that's not too good. Down here, the usual places. I've done the wheels and tyres. Sean was telling me it's actually really good on tyres, this stuff. So this is traffic film remover, TFR. Told it's not going to strip the LSP, although the LSP is fading. So I know a lot of guys have been using this. Had quite a bit of feedback on Instagram with this stuff. So here goes, let's get this rinsed off. Ready? Right, that's just that corner. Ready? Pretty much light and day, as you can see. Right, I'm going to pan this camera back and I'm going to rinse this off. Right, so you can actually see this stuff working. As you can see, it's pretty effective stuff. But obviously all we're worried about really is stripping, not in my case so much, but the last stage protection on the car. If you've got a fresh coat of wax, obviously you don't want to degrade that. Now, to repeat myself here, it says in the description, this is safe to use on your LSP. So we're going to rinse the rest of this car. I'll show you around the side, all for demonstration purposes this. So this is the worst bit of the side of the car. Let's just pull the camera in. This isn't the best camera for this. You can clearly see where the pressure washer's been. I know people will argue the fact that it's the pressure washer doing the work, but you've got to admit that is pretty much light and day. And then we'll have a crack at the wheels. So when I sprayed it on here, I also did under the arch. Obviously, you know, for the demo of the video, you're interested in seeing what this stuff can actually do. So, you know, you can spray this where you want. If you want to go above the wing, you know, and if your bonnet's covered in, you know, crap, then go for it. You know, spray the car liberally. Or what I will show you is another little thing I want to just quickly mention. So if you haven't got one of these, the power spray double action trigger, you can use one of these, the old pump up type. They're relatively cheap, and get them online, and you can fill one of these up and just keep it in your garage, and away you go. So the car's just been power washed off. Get your words out, Paul. I'll just walk you around the car. That down there isn't actually streaking, as the camera's going to pick this up. Well, it's a sort of a streak. You might not be able to see this. It's not a hot day by far. It's just where the product appears has just missed a few bits here. So that's me being really honest here. There's a couple of little bits down the door as well, but on the whole, it's took all this off, all this muck, all the salt and grime. This is a real split camp using traffic. Clean products, TFRs. Funny enough, Sean has literally just driven up here and he asked me how I was getting on, and I'll tell you what he actually told me in a minute. So we're okay here, and then just down here, it's just this little bit here as well, this little area. So that's me being perfectly honest, you know. Obviously got a little bit of contamination here, some tar down here. This is just where the car's not been done. As I say, this was October, last time this car was done properly. So we'll get some tar remover on here and get rid of this. There's a few bits down here as well. So this has just been rinsed. Obviously we found out we've got some tar issues going on the lower parts of the car. I'll deal with them during the wash process. But Sean actually popped up, we had a little chat while this has been dwelling, as if by editing magic, and it's the truth, honestly. He mentioned that you can use this in a snow foam lance mixed in with your snow foam. Now, for those of you who go, whoa, hang on a minute, whoa, you're mixing chemicals. This is just purely his experience. He's in the industry and he says it does work. I've not tried it yet. If anyone else out there has added TFR to their snow foam, put it in the comments. You think it's a good idea? He gets big results with it. He said it just gives your pre-wash that bit of oomph, if you know what I mean. On the whole, yes, it's took off 95–98% of the dirt. As you saw, there's a few streaky issues down, which is maybe down to my spraying technique. Seems to have brought the wheels up quite nicely. We're going to move on to our 2-bucket wash, and I'm going to get through that, and then we're going to move on to drying the car, and then we'll get the LSP out and move on to the Detailer's Passion. I'm going to crack on. Right, quick shout out time. 621, yay! And Detailer's Passion. Today we are using Detailer's Passion's shampoo. This is the wash and seal. I'm just going to get it, get the old LSP started. People might argue with that because you're sort of boosting the LSP straight away. Yes, I am, but this hasn't had anything done to it for 3.5 months. So apologies in the comment section, but I do like this shampoo, so I'm going to use it today. And also we are using the WOWO lamb's wool mitt, and of course we're going to use a secondary mitt for the lower parts of the car. So onwards with the wash.
It's a losing game, it's a losing game. But this time it's more than another love war. This ain't the same, this ain't the same. They say love heals all, it makes it all alright.
Right, now this was just a shampoo. Obviously we did the pre-wash with the Powermaxed TFR. Impressive stuff. Obviously there is that debate whether it strips LSP. It says it doesn't on the instructions. I know there's going to be a big argument out there, about dilution rates, and if you have got any experience of using TFR, please put your comments underneath, because this is the first time I've actually used this product and I take as a find, so please put your comments underneath. Did our 2-bucket wash with the Detailer's Passion's wash and seal. It's only really the third time I used this. I did muck about with it before I did the Land Rover, obviously. Then did the Land Rover, and you've seen that video. It's good stuff. And on red, you can see it already. It looks really nice and glossy. But remember, this is a booster. This isn't LSP. This is a last stage protection. We keep mentioning the LSP, last stage protection. Your wax, your sort of your fairy on top of the Christmas tree, as you might want to call it. It's your last bit. It's probably the bit that people really enjoy, because they sort of stand back and go, wow, there's a bit, I really enjoy it. I get to this stage, I think, thank God for that, I got the horrible stuff out of the way. So next on the agenda is the Detailer's Passion. This is the liquid banana wax. There is a number of these on the market. You might remember I tested a Malco one, a very good one. Certain fragrances, it's all down to personal taste, or not taste. Don't drink the bloody stuff. Personal smell, I should say. Banana seems to be a bit of a favourite at the moment. So I'm going to get this loaded up onto the very dandy Detailer's Passion's extra large. Actually, I think it's an extra large applicator pad. Do you know, I didn't say mitt then. For once in a video, I didn't say mitt. Applicator pad, and of course the WOWO one. So get this loaded up, give it a cure time of around, I suppose today it's quite chilly, so we'll give it sort of 10 minutes, maybe longer, and then we'll see what it looks like when we buff it off. So don't be afraid to load up the applicator. I've just given this the old butterfly technique. You can actually pre-spray these with a Detailer spray if you want to make them a little bit damp, can make things easier. I haven't done today. I'm going to try it like this. Those of you who had any other experiences, if you put an applicator pad on damp or dry, do let me know. So once again, don't be afraid of, obviously a thin layer, but you can really load up the applicator. Obviously you do this on a car which has prepared paint. What do I mean by prepared paint? Well, preferably It's been decontaminated, i.e. fallout remover been used to bleed the paint, and also been clayed. If you haven't done this, I urge you do it, because it makes all the difference to these products. This, not too bad at the moment. It will need machine polishing and decontaminating at some point this year, but at the moment it's not too bad. So we're going to let this cure, we're going to finish off these panels, and then we're going to see what it looks like. Okay, I took you off the tripod now so I can walk you around parts of the car. So we've just buffed this bit off using our Cobra towel, and this bit obviously is curing. You can see the sort of white coming through here. Don't be worried about this. Didn't have any issues on the rubbers. So let's just walk down the car. So this bit here, obviously be a little bit careful. I know I said in this video that liquid waxes, you know, that they go all over the place and they really soak in the paint really quick. Just be careful with areas around your badges. You get this sort of residue around here, so be careful when you're buffing off. Just bear that in mind. And also around the lights, and in particular the old favourite, down the edge of the bonnet where your wing meets. Just be careful down there, because you sometimes get a bit of overlap and you get a bit of residue down there, wax residue. So as always, bit of a live test. There goes my dogs. I'll just do this top part of the wing. And you can see the gloss. I've just done half of this bonnet. I've got to load up the applicator pad and do the rest. You can see already the gloss. So we've done this side here and not this side yet. So all this has got to come off, and I must say it comes off with ease. There's no sort of real dusting or residue you get. So this was the result of the banana cream wax from Detailer's Passions. Also got a nice gloss going on. It's giving it back that lovely fresh look that waxes can give. As I said before, beginning of the video, this wasn't, you know, the last LSP, which was a sealant, the high gloss sealant, was back in October of 2016. So had my work cut out today. Excuse me, out of breath. Just walk you down the side of the car and give the old bonnet shot there. Very impressive stuff. Just a word of caution, down the sides of the doors, you know, be careful with liquid waxes or cream waxes. They do spread very, very well, but in doing so, just watch areas like here and here. I'm sure you're not stupid, you don't need me to tell you that, but just as a heads up. And if obviously if you've got trims, mine aren't too bad because they're piano black. If we move on to here, there's no residue on the actual rubbers, so that's a big thumbs up there, Jamie. So yeah, all good. Right, so that's the buffing done. Right, yep, come up really, really good. This is the Detailer's Passion wax. Nice gloss going on we've got here. 2 to 3 months, Jamie reckons, for this duration. So we'll see how this fares over the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks with driving conditions. Obviously this time of year it's not too bad, and then we'll see how it goes over the next coming months, and I'll keep you up to date on Instagram as ever. So that was the Detailer's Passion. No real issues with residue control. Just be careful in here and then around your lights, obviously, because it's a liquid. It goes a hell of a long way, by the way, and obviously around your badges as well. So that was the wax. As for the TFR, yeah, I'm not on the fence. I just need to experiment with it a bit more, because obviously my LSP was very, very low on here, and I didn't really see much of an issue with the water behaviour once I'd used the actual product. If you've got any issues with this, obviously put comments underneath. So I'd like to experiment with this a bit more. As for cleaning power, yes, it's very, very good. It works. So as always, feedback. Give me some feedback on this, because not had a lot of experience with Powermaxed stuff. There is some more stuff to do with Powermaxed, which will be coming up in some future videos. Also, this morning, back to the number plate saga, this in here had actually corroded that badly it wouldn't come out. So I've had a massive issue getting this number plate done, and I've actually replaced these with stainless steel. That was the issue I had this morning. All sorts of issues this morning. Been out here since about up the state, and it's now well into lunchtime, so I need to get back in and get the editing done. I did mention I was going to be at the Excel Centre. I thought that was this weekend. It's not, it's next weekend, so I hope to see you there. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and give me some feedback as well. And we will see you again on the next video. Tatty bye.
It's a losing game, it's a losing game. But this time it's more than another love war. This ain't the same, this ain't the same. They say love heals all, it makes it all alright. In time, my heart still feels the breaking, but you make my world so bright, feel so